Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nicoletta. If you're new, welcome. In today's video, we're talking all things about how to actually change your life. Okay, hold on one sec. Because trust me, there's so many videos out there. There's so many books, podcasts. I have my own podcast, so I know there's so much information and content out there when it comes to this. And as much as I love watching that content, I love all things self-help. Sometimes it feels very overwhelming. So in today's video, I literally just put everything in a short form of how to actually change your life and steps that I am currently taking in order to do that. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. I know it sounds like a lot because when you think about it, change your life, that's like a whole thing. It doesn't happen overnight, it doesn't happen in a week. We can do something every single day in order to get to where we want to go. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and let's just get right into it. Okay, so before we get into the video, you guys have to be a little bit open-minded with me. We cannot come into this video in a negative energy. We cannot come into this video feeling sorry for ourselves, and it's okay, all right? Just like take a moment, take a deep breath, and be open-minded because we need to be open-minded in order to feel the positive energy and attract the right things. So let's just take a moment. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, now we can get started. All right, so first things first, obviously your mindset. And this goes a long way because for a long time, even now, I honestly look back to my old journals and I feel like I'm journaling the same thing over and over again. Like, these are my goals and this is how I'm feeling, basically feeling sorry for myself, being in that victim mentality, which I actually have a whole podcast episode on that. I will have it linked down below. But then I've noticed like nothing has changed. Like, years have gone by and I'm still in the same situation. I still feel the same mentally and I haven't achieved the goals that I've wanted to achieve. And why? It's because I'm still in the same mindset. Nothing is going to change until I change my thoughts, I change my attitude towards something. And obviously sitting down here feeling sorry for myself isn't doing shit. It takes time because our mind is so used to thinking and being the way it has been for all these years. I'm 28, so I guess I can say for 28 years now, thinking the same thing over and over again. As somebody who has OCD as well, obsessive compulsive disorder, it gets very repetitive over and over again. So one thing I would say to do is when you catch yourself thinking like, oh, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not meant for more, catch that thought and change it and be like, yes, I can. Yes, I'm meant for more. I'm doing great. Like, just change that thought pattern to something positive, the complete opposite. So if it says you can't, I can't do this, be like, yes, I can. With time, yes, I can accomplish this and I'll be able to achieve what I want to achieve. So once you start doing that and kind of reprogramming your mind, your mindset is changing. You're starting to feel more positive and happier. And when it comes to that too, I will say meditation, which I feel like I say that all the time on my podcast, but it does not have to be anything long. Like, you can start off your day with 3-minute meditation. I can be honest and say that when I don't meditate in the morning, I can feel my vibe for the day is just so different versus today when I meditated. I feel so much better. I can come here and show up and feel good about myself. So literally, it's just start off with like a 3-minute meditation if you want, and that also helps your mindset, just helps you see life and your day through like different lens and feel better and more excited for it. So we're just trying to let go of that victim mentality. We're trying to let go of all that negative thinking. We're letting go of the past because that's exactly what the past is. It was yesterday, it's not coming back, and we're focusing on today. We're focusing on our future. So change your mindset and that will help the next steps be a lot easier. Okay, so once we're working on our mindset, it's time to make your own goals and plans. And it's time to make your own goals, okay? Not what your favorite influencers' goals are, not what your mom says your goals should be. What are your goals and plans in life? What do you want to do? Do you want to move somewhere? Do you want to get promoted at work? Do you want to start a YouTube channel? Whatever it may be, you know what your goals and plans are. So we want to write down our goals, whether you want to do that on your phone or piece of paper. I personally feel better writing it out because I feel like writing it out, I don't know, it just has this different feeling where it feels like I'm putting it out there in the world, in the universe, like telling the universe what I want. So if it's like, I am starting a YouTube channel, I am successful, I am a successful makeup artist, I am constantly getting booked with brides. I work in New York Fashion Week yearly. Just write out all your goals. Doesn't matter how crazy and big they might sound, just write them out. It doesn't matter what your situation is. If you want to own like a villa in Europe one day, write that on a piece of paper. If that's your goal, just write it all out and take your time with this. Like, I love putting in my headphones, listening to my favorite music, and feeling inspired while I'm writing this out. So I'm in like a good, high, vibrant energy. So make sure you're feeling like that. Don't feel miserable when you're writing it out, like, oh man, a villa, but mentally you're thinking like, I can't do this. This will never be my actual goal. So don't think that, or like, this will never actually become my reality. Don't think that. Write it out as like, I own a villa in Europe. Okay, so you can write it in present tense too, like, I am a successful makeup artist, I am constantly getting booked. You can honestly, writing it in the present moment, in the present tense, feels better, because you really, at that point, your mind doesn't know what the difference is between like reality versus non-reality, you know? So if you're writing like, yeah, you do own the villa, your mind thinks like, oh, okay, this person owns a villa, wow, that's awesome, you know? And you just start to feel better. So anyway, just write those things down and take your time with them. And then once we have our goals, okay, we have to create a plan. You can't just journal things out like I do and then shut the book and never look at it again until like a year later and be like, ugh, I'm still not posting consistently on YouTube. I'm still not where I want to be with my business. We need to create a plan, you and I both, because I feel the same way. If you go back to my YouTube channel, you will see that this is my first video being back, and it took me a long time to come back. Honestly, I graduated from college 5 years ago, you guys, 5 years. I have yet to be consistent with my YouTube channel, and why not? I'm just holding myself back, telling myself like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, and I'm just holding myself back. So we're changing that. So create a plan, okay? We can either create like a yearly plan, and don't make this too extreme, okay? Let's be real. Like, I'm back with recording a video now. I'm not gonna be like, I want to have 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That's like 5 months from now. No, okay? I can be like, okay, my goal is to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That sounds a lot more realistic and a lot easier. It doesn't feel as overwhelming. Where if I say like 100,000, I get this anxiety like, oh my gosh, I have 5 months to hit 100,000 subscribers. No, okay, let's be real. So just take it week by week or take it month by month, whatever you want to do. You know what your current schedule is like, you know what your current lifestyle is like, your job, like, are you working a full-time job, are you trying to do something on the side, like, you know what your situation is. So just create a plan that works for you, and make sure you have it somewhere where you can see it daily, whether it's by your computer, on your phone, or like have your journal right next to your bed and like look at it every night and every morning so you're constantly reminded. Also, I personally love Pinterest. I was such a Tumblr girl back in the day, and I love like pinning photos, that those aesthetic vibes, like visualizing, all of that I loved. So Pinterest is definitely my number one thing when it comes to creating like mood boards and inspo boards and all that. So go on Pinterest, create a board, and add all the things that you want your future life to be like, you want your current life to be like, and whether that's like, again, a farm, a new car, a family, whatever it is, just pin all those photos in there. And again, put music on while you're doing this so you feel inspired, you're like in high vibrant energy, so you feel good when you're doing this, and just sit there and pin every single thing that you see. Don't question the image too much. Be like, is this house too big for me? No, like, if you like that, pin it in there. If you like that car, pin it in there. If you like this, that, whatever, just pin it all in there and make it private so it's only for you to see, for you to have. And make sure you like scroll through that as well daily, just so you're like reprogramming your mind and reminding yourself like, this is the life that I'm aiming for, this is the life I'm working towards, where I want to create a new life for me. Okay, and then obviously once we have our plan, now we have our goals, we have our plan, it's time to take action. Our favorite part, right? Definitely not. I feel like this is the part where I struggle with the most, because I sometimes expect like such fast results. Like, okay, I posted one TikTok, why am I not growing it? Or I worked out one day, like why am I not seeing a difference? Like, okay, come on, be realistic. So let's be honest with ourselves here, okay? So take action, doesn't have to be anything harsh. Again, doesn't have to be anything extreme. 1% is better than zero. So even if it's little by little, even if like today you sent out that email that you've been wanting to send out, today you finally start working on your portfolio, today you finally sat down and looked at your finance, and you know what, like you created a plan to pay off your debt. And little by little, just take that little action step every single day. So just make sure it's never zero. 1% is better than nothing, because you don't, again, changing your life takes time. It's not gonna happen overnight. You're not just gonna wake up and be a new person, have a new reality or whatever, but 1% makes it so much easier. And I'm not kidding. Since I started that, I feel so much better, and I've noticed myself too, like being more accountable, like reaching my goals when it comes to paying my own debt, because that's like something that has been weighing me down for a long time. And I was like, you know what, like why am I not paying off my debt? Like why is the money just sitting in my savings? Like just take that and pay it off so you can like say bye to the debt, and then feel like you can move forward again. So again, we all have our different goals we want to focus on, but 1% is better than nothing. So just little by little, don't overwhelm yourself. Don't try and create this morning routine that has like 15 steps, because I do the same thing. And even my own therapist has called me out. She'll be like, okay, what's one goal until your next session? And I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna do this and that. And she's like, I said one goal, not five. So just choose one thing at a time, little by little. And as you start doing that 1%, you start feeling better. Eventually, naturally, you're just gonna start doing more without even realizing, because you're going to be feeling better, you're going to be more excited for these goals and your future and the life that you're working on. So 1% a day. Okay, next thing, listen, as much as I love social media, I love YouTube, I love Instagram, I love TikTok, Pinterest, and I speak for myself too, spend so much time watching other people's stories, watching other people's highlight reels. And again, it's fine to go in there, get inspired, give yourself like 10-minute random scrolling sesh, but it's another thing when I'm on there for like 4 or 5 hours, just constantly like refreshing my feed. Like what? Like, is that really helping me in any way? No. If anything, it's just making me feel shitty, because I'm like, wow, so and so is just traveling all over Europe this summer, and so is working with this amazing makeup artist. Like, wow, how do they do that? I wish I could have that. And then I start to feel sorry for myself. But instead, again, change that mindset. When you see that, instead of feeling sorry for yourself, be like, wow, so and so got to work with this makeup artist. That means like I'm capable of doing that too. If that person was able to do it, then I can do it too. Don't have like that negative relationship with what you see. But I will say, just give yourself like time each day, like 10-15 minutes a day to mindlessly scroll. And that's pretty much it, because we can get so used to just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and consuming all this content, and then once we get off of it, we just don't feel good about ourselves. So I've noticed, like, when was it? Today is Friday. Tuesday. I was barely on social media. I was on there. I went, did like a little get ready with me live on Instagram, and then I posted that. And then I spent the day with my grandmother. We did some shopping, and then I came back home, worked out, took a makeup course that I signed up for. Just felt so good. I felt like, I don't know, I just wasn't like comparing myself to other people. I wasn't like seeing what other people were doing. I was just focusing on me, and that felt so good. So just be aware of how much time you're spending watching other people's lives instead of living your own life. Instead of wasting that time watching somebody else's story, like maybe plan something for yourself or do something for yourself. And that brings me to the next step, which is like, don't wait on other people to do things. Again, we all have different schedules, and sometimes it's scary to do things on our own. But in order to change our lives, if you want to change your daily routine and just say you want to go to a coffee shop and work instead of like working from home all the time, maybe your friend is not available that day. So are you not going to go to the coffee shop because so and so can't come with you? I still would say go to the coffee shop. It feels kind of weird at first being alone. Trust me, I get it. But again, you just can't wait around for other people, because sometimes I look back and, or even my own friends, sometimes I feel like they waited on me and I would always like push it back, you know, and it's not a good feeling. Like, we all have our own things that we want to do. So if it's something that you really want to do and there's nobody else around that wants to come with, or, you know, do the same thing as you, just go do it by yourself. And it's gonna feel weird at first, but after a while it's fine. And once you do that more often, you just get more comfortable being with yourself. Just show up for you. Don't wait around for anybody else. Otherwise, sometimes you may be waiting for a really long time. It's how to change your life. Again, sounds a lot, but if you guys have ever seen Seinfeld, there's this one episode, I forget what it's called, but basically the one character, George, decides to have a day where he does everything completely opposite of the way he's been doing it. So he goes to the restaurant and orders like something completely different than what he usually does. So everything opposite. And in a way, that's kind of how it is to change your life a little bit. Like, because we've been living this day-to-day life and maybe we haven't been like enjoying it as much as we want to, or we have the same routine and it gets stagnant. So maybe you just have to like slowly change things around. It's simple as like having a different coffee order, trying out a new restaurant, doing a different workout, just switch things around. And lastly but not least, my main thought that I feel like I've been struggling with, that's constantly like repetitive, you know, when I try to do something, I feel like I come across the thought of, oh, you know, well, you grew up differently, so like you can't have the life that you want. And that's not true. And I feel like now that I listen to so many other podcasts and watch other like, you know, self-help people here on YouTube, I feel like it's like a common thing, because I was born in 1995, and I feel like this is like I would say like the first generation that kind of is changing things around, because now we have like remote jobs and we can see people working from all over the world just from their computer. Like, things are changing. It's not like the way it used to be back in the day. Just know that, again, that's just like a limiting belief. Don't listen to that. You are capable of creating the life that you want. It just takes time and patience. So I'm telling this to myself too, because sometimes, again, I'm very hard on myself, but it takes time. So just do it day by day. So the fact that I'm like, you know, one video here right now, one video a week, that's great. Like, don't try and do like 5 videos a week if that's not, doesn't make sense for you. Like, don't overdo that. Just start little by little, but just try, definitely try and be consistent, because you don't want to like start working on your goals and then you don't see the results, so you're like, I'm just gonna put this on the side for now. But no, keep posting and keep doing things and keep working out, or whatever your goals are, just keep doing it. Again, 1% a day, and I promise you will definitely see the results and feel better. Obviously, mentally, emotionally, absolutely. I can already feel it for sure. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. These are just like my ways, easy ways, that after watching so many different videos, I feel like these are what are helping me the most, because again, it can be very overwhelming, but you got this. And if you guys want to listen more regarding all this type of topics, like all things self-help and putting yourself first, finally doing things for yourself, make sure you check out my podcast. I will have a link down below. It's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It's called My Turn Podcast. So we'll love for you guys to come over there and take a listen. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.